All right, hi everyone, it's Mr. Barden here. This is going to be a hopefully really quick video just showing you how to install Studio One on your device, making sure that it has all the bits that you need. This is my first video in a while back at my main desk setup. You can kind of see it's still not quite there. My technical difficulties were much larger than I thought they would be, but I had to make sure I got this up and going for my students with the Windows computers. So I'm sorry this took so long for those students, but we're just going to hop right into it, and hopefully this will be out very quickly. So there's going to be two things that you're going to need, and those are the installers for, well, Studio One. I'm going to be doing Studio One 6 because that's what my license is for, but this will work for basically any version you have. You just go to mypresonus.com or my.presonus, I should say, and log in. Mine's through this Presonus Sphere, but you can just log in and see all of your products right there and download what you need. In addition to that, you'll want Universal Control, and this is a program that has a lot of the firmware updates and drivers and all the important bits and pieces that you need. So that's the main two things right there, and through the magic of doing it earlier, I've got those files already downloaded. So I'm going to recommend you start with Universal Control, and we're just going to do that. There it is. It got angry at me when it went away for a second. I'm going to pick English because I'm a basic white American, and we're going to say next and agree to all the bits. You can read through it if you want. I'm not going to go through it all now. I pretty much turn on everything here just because I don't know what I'm going to turn on in the future. But if you know you don't need certain things, you can just turn off what you don't need. And this is going to do all of its bits. There may be a little wizard for some of them. Cool. I'm just going to click through all the stuff just to make life easy. I've done this so many times. It's a lot. So that's there, and this is just going to exist in the background essentially. Whenever you plug in a new PreSonus thing, you can use it to make sure all the firmware is up to date and everything is updated. The next part is to install Studio One, and I'm gonna double click on that to get it up and going. I'm gonna give it all the permission, and we're back on the screen. We're gonna start with the exact same bit of what language do you want the installer in? English. When we say yes, I'm going to install it. That's all the license agreement stuff. You can read it if you want. I'm not going to do it on this video because it's very long and boring. Trust me. That's going to do all the things, and really it doesn't take terribly long, but it may take longer depending on the specs of your computer. This one is essentially a fresh install. So now I'm going to look over at this screen whilst I find where that updated it. So here's Studio or Universal Control. If I turn on all of my bits that are connected, we should see here, yes, here's both of my PreSonus things there. I can click on, I should be able to click on one. We'll check for updates. We'll come back later when we check for updates then. But this is where you would do it. You can see all your bits and you can update stuff as needed. I'm going to minimize this and come back, and we're going to open up Studio One now that it has finished installing. There's again, another EULA. You can read it if you want. But now here is where you're going to log into the bits. You'll use your email address that you have for your account, and whatever that password is, the same thing that you use to sign in to your PreSonus info here. And we're going to see if I remember that. We're just going to... All right, I wasn't sure if I remembered my password, so I just paused that recording for a moment while I went through it. It went through on I think the second try, but you have a bunch of options here. For me, I'm going to say activate with PreSonus Sphere. However, this is, there's a bunch of different versions. If you have a demo, you can try that, but it's you can't save stuff. So basically you can work with all the bits, but you have to do it there. I don't even know if it'll let you export it. You can also just have it run the free version, but it is, again, limited. For my students, what you'll do is if you say activate my purchased version, and it'll pull up the login link again, and then you can just say, you know, find my activate my purchased products, click on that, and it'll activate it all. I'm going to again say activate with that. Oh, here's that. So we're going to, here's my personal email address. I'm going to log in. It's going to activate it. And cool. You know, this is just saying, hey, yes, you are allowed to use this product. You've paid all the bits. It's legally, it's all good. You did not steal this software. And then this window will pop up. This is where you have the option to pick and choose what gets installed. So again, bunch of different things. You can pick the minimal installation if you need, if you have less space. In Studio One 5, this is a little less graphically pleasing to stare at, but it's the same kind of thing. I recommend starting with the recommended installation, and then, depending on what you need and don't need, I usually will start by taking out the loop libraries, because again, that frees up 10 gigabytes right off the bat. And then as needed, some of the drum kits, impulse responses, demos, documenting, you know, start taking out stuff you don't think you'll need. I'm going to do the full installation because this is my computer with all my bits, and we're going to install it, and it's going to do its thing. You'll see up in the top of the screen right about here, in Studio One 5, the icon looks like an arrow. In 6, it's an up and down arrow with a circle going around it. And whenever it's doing stuff, that means that you are, you know, initiating transfers. You're downloading and installing stuff. You can see exactly what's happening. It'll download up to 5 things at a time, and you can see exactly how big it is and how fast each of the transfers is going. Once it's done, you know, it'll be done when it gets to the bottom of the list. And I mean, that's pretty much it. There we go. And then it'll say that it will be available the next time you start Studio One. So, again, this is going to take a hot second. I mean, it's going pretty quickly. It's down to under 3 hours. I mean, it depends on your internet connection and all that. I'm hooked up to a pretty fast Ethernet, but all the bits that you can install are right here. So this should have all of your audio effects and things like that. If you just have the free version, you're probably going to be missing a lot of stuff. So I recommend checking out the authorized ones if you can afford it. The free ones are definitely great. If you're in my class and you need the class authorization for our class set, that's on you all to message me individually. Ha 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 ha. I can't just give that info out. And I think that's just about all of it. I mean, once it's done, you restart it. There you go. Bob's your uncle. It's pretty straightforward. So this is where I'm going to end it, and I'm going to upload this to the internet and share it with my students ASAP. This is an incredibly informal thing. I'm just in my t-shirt. The everything's a mess. There's cables everywhere, but it's working. So stay tuned for more videos coming out. I've got a few more on my laptop to work with before I start, and full-time, transitioned back to here in the probably early to mid-January time period. So that's going to be it from me, and I will see you all the next time that I see you. Bye.